Hello everybody and welcome back to Mackey's Toys. Now, today we have a very special episode. We're going to be making Oobleck, or some people call it slime kind of thing. Most people make it wrong, and we're going to teach you how to make it right this time. Sometimes it's too runny and you don't want a runny Oobleck, but I'm going to teach you how to do it using 3 ingredients: water, cornstarch, and food color dye. Now get ready for this. What we do, first step, take cornstarch. Doesn't have to be expensive stuff, could be just, cheap stuff. Just put the cornstarch in a bowl, bag, cup, whatever you want to make it in. However much you want to make. So, we got a relatively big bowl. And it's very dusty, and if you have carpets or anything you don't want to get dirty, well, it'll be all over the place. It's powder. Next step, take your little stir, and you just get used to spooning it around. Now, some people will do this differently. I like to add the food color dye in before I add the water, because I want to make sure I don't get any clumps in it, because if it's, clumpy, well, it'll be weird. So what it'll do is the food color will clump in with the cornstarch, and this is how I know I've added enough water. So when it gets wet, it'll definitely show. Because right now, see, look, it's just plain. It doesn't look like I've done anything. So now I'm going to add some water. Don't add too much water, because I've seen where people add way too much water and it becomes like a soup, and then they call that Oobleck, and that's not Oobleck. That's cornstarch soup. This is how you make the real deal. So add a little bit of water at first, and then you can feel it starting to resist it, but it just sucks up all the water. See? It's good. Add a little bit more. Remember, once you add too much, unless you have extra cornstarch, you're done. I used all the cornstarch, as you can see. So if I add too much, then I'm done. Okay, see, it's firm. It's not quite the consistency of Oobleck yet. But see right here, look, I can see a little bit of the blue coming through right there. So I'm gonna pour a little water on that blue and make it more noticeable. And now it's really becoming something like Oobleck. Very hard to mix. See, it's like, I need to make sure I get everything. Oop, there's another pocket of blue. So you want to add a little water to that extra pocket of blue. And then move the bowl around a little just to help the water get throughout. Now you could use your hands. I'm just using this cake spreader because I don't feel like using my hands right now, but it's probably better to use your hands, because then you can get a real feel for it and know when it's done. Because like I said, once you get it too watery, the only way to fix it is by adding more cornstarch, and well, I use all the cornstarch. So once I get all the dye mixed, like where I know it's not gonna stain, then I'm gonna take let me get all the stuff out first, and then there we go, scoop it from the sides. And now you can take your hand and see it's real liquidy right there, but it's still real like firm, because it's not quite Oobleck. It's still cornstarch. And it's, see, it's a solid, when you apply force to it. And what that's called is called the non-Newtonian fluid. But see, it's real dusty right there, right down here. We want to make sure this all gets evenly mixed. But not to the point where it's soupy, because you don't want soupy oobleck, because that's not oobleck, that's just soup. So just, I feel like it just needs a little tiny bit more water, because it's not quite there. It's almost there. And then we can, and then I can decide if I want to, oh yes, add more water. I feel like this is becoming more like how it's supposed to be. So, yep, this is it. Okay. So see, look, grab a handful. It's slimy. But then if I hit it, firm. So, for example, let's take. See, it doesn't go in. But if I were to just let it sit and rest, see, it goes right in, and then it pulls up, and super slimy, ewy gooey. Now, for a better example, I could take the water bottle and drop it right on top, and then it doesn't go in, but then it sinks. And now it's all over there, but look, see, it's gonna come off. But you notice, here's the thing, I didn't add too much water, so when I drop it, it doesn't splash all over the place. That's the key. Other people will add too much water and it splashes all over the place, and that's just simply not oobleck. That's cornmeal soup or cornstarch soup, depending on what country you're in. So this is how you make proper oobleck. It's nice and runny, but yet if you like this video and you like how I made this oobleck, then leave a like on this video. Comment if you want. If you didn't like it, leave a like anyway, because we're all nice people anyway. This is Mackie, and